Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. Today I will be presenting about Thailand's trade policy instruments. So my presentation will cover the main tools used by Thailand to regulate international trade, protect the local industries and maintain its economic stability. I will also explain the impacts of these policies and provide the recommendations for Thailand as they moving forward. So before I went deeper into Thailand's trade policy instrument, let me introduce you to Thailand trade policy. So Thailand is one of the most trade-dependent economies in Southeast Asia. So industries such as agriculture, electronics, automotive, and food processing rely heavily on both exports and imported materials. So because of this, trade policies play a major role in shaping Thailand's competitive position in the global market. So, to manage its trade relationships, Thailand used several policy instruments such as tariffs, subsidies, non-tariff barriers, and lastly, anti-dumping measures. So, at the same time, Thailand is very active in the regional and global trade agreements, including AFTA, RCEP, and several bilateral agreements. So, these agreements help the country integrate with international markets while balancing the need to protect the domestic sectors. So in this presentation, I will focus on four major trade policy instruments used by Thailand's government. So the first one is tariff, which are taxes imposed on imported goods. The second one is subsidies, which are financial supports for domestic producers. And third one, Thailand also uses several non-tariff barriers, including standard licensing requirements and quotas. And lastly, Thailand also applies an anti-dumping measures to prevent an unfairly low price imports from entering the market. So each of these instruments serve a different purpose and has a different impact on the Thai economy. Tariffs are one of the most commonly used tools in Thailand's trade policy. They are applied mainly to protect the sensitive industries such as agriculture, textile, steel, and the automotive sector. So for example, Thailand imposed a higher tariffs on rice, sugar, and dairy products to protect the local farmers. So similarly, vehicles imported from the countries without a free trade agreement face a higher duties compared to those that came from ASEAN partners. Tariff also helps to safeguard the local industries, maintain jobs, and generate the government revenue. However, the downside is that tariffs often lead to higher prices for Thai consumers and may reduce the level of competition in the domestic market. Next is subsidies. So subsidies are another important instrument in Thailand's trade policy. The government provides financial support to local farmers and small industries through cash payments, minimum price guarantees, and income support program. So common beneficiaries include rice farmers, rubber growers, and palm oil producers. So this subsidy helps to ensure the stable production and protect the farmers from market fluctuations. So for the manufacturing sector, the government provides a tax incentive, research grants, and a low interest loan to support industrial development. So while subsidies are helpful, they can become expensive for the government and may reduce efficiency if the local producers become too dependent on them. Thailand also uses many non-tariff barriers which act as indirect restriction on trade. So these include quality and safety standards, which is sanitary and phytosanitary or SPS requirements. So licensing rules, quotas, and custom procedures. So this measure help to maintain the consumer safety, ensure the food quality, and protect the domestic industries. However, they also increase the cost of importing goods and may slow down the trade processes. So some exporting countries have also raised concern that Thailand's non-tariff measure have limited their ability to access the Thai market. And lastly, anti-dumping. So anti-dumping measures are used when foreign companies sell the products in Thailand at extremely low and unfair prices. So when this happens, Thailand imposes an anti-dumping duties on this product to protect the domestic industry from being harmed. So these duties are commonly applied on imports of steel, ceramics, and chemical products, especially from countries like China, South Korea, and Taiwan. So while this measure helps to ensure the competition and protect the local businesses, they also lead to a higher cost for consumers and can cause tension with the exporting nation. Government intervention in trade brings both positive and negative consequences. So on the positive side, trade instruments like tariffs, subsidies, and anti-dumping measures helps to protect the domestic producers, ensure product quality, and help to maintain the economic stability. They also support the small farmers and prevent an unfair trade practices. But on the negative side, these interventions may result in a higher consumer prices, reduce the competition, and slower the import processes. So in some cases, trade partners may complain or retaliate, creating a pressure on Thailand in international negotiation. So looking at the impacts more specifically, we could say that tariffs protect the local industries and create the government revenue, but they increase the prices for consumers. Subsidies help farmers and small industries, but they can be costly and may reduce the productivity. Non-tariff barriers ensure the product quality and safety, but they may slow down import processes. Anti-dumping measures protect the local firms from unfair pricing, but they may damage relationships with trading partners. So this shows that every trade instrument has advantages and disadvantages that must be carefully balanced by the Thailand's government. So based on the analysis, here are three key recommendations that I would suggest for Thailand's government. So first one, Thailand should gradually reduce the tariffs, especially in sectors that are already competitive. So this will lower consumer prices and support regional integration under ASEAN or AFTA and RCEP. Second, the government should shift from direct cash subsidies to a productivity-based support. So this includes promoting technology adoption, modern agriculture machinery, and digital tools to help the farmers and industries become more efficient. So the third one, Thailand should improve a transparency in anti-dumping investigations. So a clear procedures and consistent timelines will strengthen trust and reduce the risk of trade disputes with other countries. So in conclusion, Thailand's trade policy instruments such as tariffs, subsidies, non-tariff barriers, and anti-dumping measures are essential for protecting the domestic industries and supporting the country's economy. However, these tools also have disadvantages such as higher consumer prices and potential trade conflicts. Therefore, Thailand needs to strike a balance between protecting the domestic industries and remaining competitive in the global market. So by reducing the tariffs gradually, improving subsidy effectiveness, and increasing transparency in trade enforcement, Thailand can strengthen its economic growth while maintaining a fair and balanced trade practices.